Okay, Coach, coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the New York Giants. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Now the third leading rusher in the NFL last year, Todd Gurley. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, second and 3. Now it's Stafford. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
First down. First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Right over there. 60. Mike, 58, right there. Let's go one more.
On first down, it's Gurley. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to second and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Six yards on that last play. Here's second and 4.
You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me.
Gurley.
36.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive.
That's another Detroit Lions first down. First and 10 at the 22.
Watch a slant. Back.
A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a second and 1.
Brings up second and 1 at the 13-yard line.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
Rabbit. Hatch it. Jam him.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Hey, Echo. 41's the mic. 41's the mic.
Third and 2, Stafford.
I got you.
He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. T.J. Hockenson. with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point good by Prater, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Come off the ball hard. Watch twist. Watch twist.
Running it with the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year a season ago, Saquon Barkley. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now Saquon Barkley. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, Barkley. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Our first update now comes from Atlanta. An early lead in that game for the Falcons. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. And he'll get this one up to the 26.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
That's trash.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The Giants
Let's
take
go,
over
boys.
first
Let's go.
and 10 at their own 38-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Man, I got you. Out.
2nd and 5 now. Jackson. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Check. Record. Hey, alert 3.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. Oh, he almost had the rare interception. The big fella couldn't hang on, though. Incomplete.
It's
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Gurley. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. 11 yards there and a Lion 1st down. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there.
On 2nd and 11 now. Stafford. A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller, and he will score. Touchdown, Giants.
Let's go.
Brett Maher on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley.
Check 24. Check 3.
And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big run there by Gurley. 54 yards. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
You better bring it.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Stafford complete to Jones. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down.
Detroit Lions, 1st down. 1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. On 1st and goal, Gurley. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Throwing is Stafford. Flushed out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Leonard Williams able to record his 5th sack of the season.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. Looking in zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They've had it twice. They punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Here we go, D. Here I come. Here I come. No. Off.
Now it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. It's caught. Shepard. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
Let's go.
An 8-yard pickup. And the Giants first down.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7 our score. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
All day, baby, all day.
Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a Giant first down on a gain of 16.
First down.
They can't hang with us.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson, escaping the pressure right. Looking for Shepard deep, and that'll wind up incomplete.
Easy work.
Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
On the draw, this is Barkley. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Jackson from the shotgun. Flush to his right. And Tate's got it. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 33. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Finds his tight end, Ingram. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl corner, Darius Slay. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Dexter Lawrence able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. So they don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway.
Let's go, fellas.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Check. Get that quarterback at all costs. Slam.
They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Partner, those are back-to-back 6-yard runs, and if they're going to continue to get those types of plays, shoot, you just keep running the same stuff, don't you?
Yeah, it was 1st and 10, then 2nd and 4. Now 1st and 10 again. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Yeah, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he is going to lose yardage here. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they begin this drive in very precarious field position inside their own 5.
And remember, this is a defense that's already scored once in this game, so you've got to really take care and make sure that you're blocking these guys who try and wedge the ball out from the shadow of your own end zone. That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. It's complete. This is Todd Gurley. And he'll be brought down shy of the first down marker at the 11. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Taken from just outside the 30. Might have needed just one more block as it stands. 37-yard return. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape. 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
From the gun, Jackson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
They don't want it.
And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know that.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will knot us up at 10. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley.
Tight dog.
7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
He was taken down at the 22-yard line.
Yeah, baby.
Boom. 7 makes it 3rd and 4.
Set. Yellow lady. Mike 41.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Lions on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Play action. Stafford trying to lay one up deep. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Now a 1st down run is sniffed out from the start as they'll drop him for a loss of 4. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down.
3 down.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson eluding the pressure right. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Jackson. And Ingram hauls it in. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 yards and a Giant 1st down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
2nd and 12 at the 44-yard line.
Here we go. Mike. 15 Watch twist.
On 2nd and 12. Jackson, blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Watch the screen. He's coming, he's coming, he's coming. We got double up, double up. Pick the edge, pick the edge. Come, come. Shift, watch the shift.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Flushed out right. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. The defense did their job. 4th quarter, big stand.
No doubt about it, because the offense has been yelling at them from the sideline. Just do us a favor. Get us the ball back. Give us one more chance to take it downfield. The defense just did them a solid, it appears.
And when they get the ball back, they can kind of play free tie game. They're not behind. 12 yards on. Return that time, and the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On 2nd and 2, Stafford under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Marcus Golden, too much to handle that time, gets the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
To throw on 3rd down, Stafford looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Cannon. And all the way down to the 39. A big play there for Detroit. 44 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Give him 7 yards on the carry, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Stafford. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extras.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
So here comes the veteran Matt Prater in a big spot in this ball game. This for the lead in the final stages. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. You talk about a big kick under pressure in the 4th quarter. I mean, that wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was long distance.
Not only does it show the faith that they have in him, but also remember, if they'd missed that one, they're giving up the ball near midfield, so they had to be very confident that he was going to put that one through the post.
At their own 25-yard
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
they practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
I know a lot of people won't like the draw called in that situation, but every now and then that pops big. In this case, it didn't happen.
Throwing now is Jackson. Got a man, Slayton. The 30, 20, 10. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow. Wow.
There you go, baby. Yeah.
Marr now to add the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. On the NFL scoreboard, fourth quarter now at Soldier Field. And it was the Chargers who were able to take home the victory in that one. If they can hold on, the win would be number 8 for them on the campaign. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Here we go. Here we go.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now Stafford. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Mike's fofo. What we got? What we got? What we got?
After the interception, here's Jackson. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
After the sack on first down, Jackson.
I'm coming back.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Throwing is Jackson. And the pressure gets to him again.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it. Get out here. That's how we do it.
So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Giants, they'll finish the first half of the schedule dead even at 4-4, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss, and they'll be off to Oakland next week for a date with the Raiders. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.